Hi, my Tubies, my Teletubbies. This is Sheila True Love. Truly loving you. I'm laying here again, and this is going to be called Games Narcissists Play. Now, this is the Michelle Pink person again, and she's telling you the do's. Don't do this, don't do that, what to do this. All of this is a bunch of rules, man, playing games. Don't have him over to your house. Don't be cooking for him. Personally, me, I like to entertain in my home. If I want to have a man come over to my home after I feel it's safe, of course you wouldn't have no one in your home where you're not sure that it's safe. And normally, I would always have someone in my home with me, like my roommate would be here, or I would have Wanda or one of my friends from Building 1 or Building 4 over at my house. Okay? I wouldn't have it with just him and me. I would have it with me, and if I want to invite him over to the house for dinner that I made, this woman here, she tells you don't cook for him, don't do this, no, because if you do things like this, then he's never going to see the need to take you out. If you're going to let him come over to, no, I'm letting you come over to the house because I like to entertain in my home, and I don't feel there's anything wrong with that. Yes, I will cook dinner for him if I choose to, because I enjoy cooking. I'm good at it. I enjoy doing it, and that's what I will do if I choose to. Now, if he's not taking me out, I will. It's called communication, not game playing, not a bunch of rules. Don't do this, don't do that, and lean to the left, lean front. No, what, man? I don't have time for all that. No. If he is not taking me out and I see that he is more sitting on my couch opposed to, he ain't going to be sitting on my couch that much anyway, because I'm not going to be having him over like that. If he's not taking you out, you bring it to his attention that you're starting to feel unappreciated, you're starting to feel used. And why is it that we can't go out? I would love for you to take me out sometime. And you bring it to his attention. And if he does not care about how you feel, then you dead suckers, you block suckers, and you don't look back. Because I already brought it to your attention how I felt. You didn't give a damn. You didn't try to make the necessary adjustments. So that's why I blocked you and I dead you. Okay? But with all these different rules that this female is telling you to do this and don't do that, and let him call first, what? First of all, I don't believe that women should be chasing men. I just don't. I don't believe that. I've never seen a cat chasing a dog. We're the cats, they're the dogs. The dog chased the cat. That's the way it's supposed to be. When it comes to the man calling, he's supposed to be doing the pursuing, the thrill of the hunt. And that part is real. It's real. Let the man do the pursuing and stop emasculating the dudes, cutting off their testicles, and not letting men be men. Men are the providers. That's what they're supposed to do. Okay, that's what they're supposed to do. And the evidence, see, I like to back things up with evidence. 1 Timothy 5:8. He's supposed to do that. They're supposed to protect. You look at the examples in the Bible of how men's roles are and women's roles. Okay? And that's what we are to follow. If you find someone who find it hard to follow what the scriptures say, then that's not the man for you. Now, if you're interested in living a Christian lifestyle, then you find yourself a man who have respect for that. You find yourself a partner who's going to work as a team with you regarding that. I don't want no man who's on Satan the devil's team. I don't. Because those relationships tend to be one-sided, they're selfish, they don't work out. No. I want a man who's on Jesus Christ's team and on Jehovah God's team. And if you're not on those teams, honey, I'm not the girl for you. I'm not going to knock you. I'm not going to judge you. It is what it is. You do you, because I'm a damn sure do me. But with all these goddamn rules that this broad is getting ready to fill your head up with, please. This is the games that narcissistic females or people in general play. Games.
You want to make sure that he is always coming for you, coming for you, coming for you. If that's not the case, then you'll never be able to get money from him. You will never be able to capitalize on the relationship when he is not coming for you. There should never be a time when you are going after him. Ever. Never, ever, ever. You should.
Now, I already explained. I don't believe that women should be chasing men. You're blowing up his phone with texts. You're constantly calling him. Now, let's just say the calling should start with the man. He's the pursuer. Once he call you can return phone calls. You can return texts. Now, you have some men who say, well, men, they like to be pursued too. And I understand that, sweetheart. We understand. We get it. At the same time, you have your role to play, and I have mine. Okay? Because every time people do things out of harmony with the Bible, it just ends up blowing up in your face. Now, I'm sure that there are times, I think, like when Naomi and Ruth, Naomi wanted Ruth to have a husband because she didn't want Ruth to end up alone and childless. So they went to, I forget his name, Moab, but no, it wasn't Moab. But I know that story where the women did go to he was a king, you know, and she was very nice to him, what have you. At the same time, you don't go around chasing after no dude. Let him do most of the chasing. Yes, sometimes he want to feel wanted, you know. From time to time, you can get on the phone and say, "Hey, you, I was just thinking about you. You know, how are you? How's things going? How's your day looking?" Yeah, you could do that from time to time, but just don't overdo it. You know, you let him do most of it. Let him do 95%, and you could do 5%. Okay? Because, you know, but all of these bunch of rules on how to. No, man, come on. The only thing I would recommend is please don't go chasing after no dude. And always create the picture in your head of a cat chasing a dog. That's just so not it. That's not it.
Never say, "Oh, how was the fishing trip?" You should never reach out first. He should always be the one reaching out to you. He should be the one to pursue you because that is the masculine thing to do.
I agree.
If he is an alpha male, which means he's most likely going to be a top breadwinner. Most top breadwinners are alpha males. If this is the type of man you're wanting to date and you want him to pursue you, then you want then you a PhD in psychology. Then you want to if you want a man to pursue you, you want to be in the power position. You want him to always be coming after you. A lot of women get this mistaken. A lot of women get this mistake. They feel like, well, he took me on a date and I'm trying to build a bond. So should I reach out to him first? Um, no, you shouldn't. You should never reach out to him first. You should never.
I'm saying if the guy took you out on a date, you went out on a date, and after the date he brought you home, which is what a gentleman would do, if that's what you choose. Because personally, me, I don't want you to bring me home. I usually say, well, I'm calling my Uber, and my Uber will drive me home. You know, okay, that's in the beginning. That's just me. Okay, now after he took you out on a date, he treated you like a classy lady. When you get home, there's nothing wrong with you sending him a text telling him how much you enjoyed the date and you had such an amazing time and how much you appreciate him taking you out. That was very, very nice of you, and thank you. Hopefully, next time I can, I don't know, do something nice for you. Next time around, I'd like to do something nice for you. And that's how you would send that. And that's the end of that text. You don't text him no more. Then he might respond and say, "Oh, it was great. For thank you for allowing me to take you out. I had so much fun too, and you are such an amazing woman, a classy lady. It was so much fun being with you. Thank you, and I hope to talk to you tomorrow." Great. And then you leave it at that. And when he wants to call you, he will call you tomorrow. You know, and that's fine. But for her to sit here and say, "Don't you ever reach out to him. Don't you ever." No, I'm not. No, I'm not following none of that nonsense. Why? Because it's exactly that nonsense. It's foolishness.
Call him first. There should never be a time when you say, "I love you" first, ever, even in a marriage. Even in a marriage. Um,
Even in a marriage, I will say I love you the moment I feel that I love you. Okay, I ain't listening to this crazy nonsense. If I say I love you, I love you because I feel love for you. It don't necessarily have to. There's four kinds of love. There's agape love. That's a godlike love based on principle. There's eros. There's romantic. That's a romantic love. There's philia. Philia is like the kind of love you have for your friend, like you love your friends. Okay, let me see. There's agape. There's eros. That's the romantic love that you could feel for this man. And then there's the philia, and then there's the storge. Storge is, I forget, but there's four type of loves, So when I say I love you, he don't know whether it's agape love, eros love, a storge, or philia. I could be loving him with philia type love, like a friend. I absolutely love you. I've never had a problem telling people that I love them. Love is a beautiful thing. God is love, for God's sake. So tell people you love them as much as you can and as often as you can. Okay? Don't listen to this narcissistic. I like her though. Her and she were seven. They have they have their points. I'm not gonna name call because she has, and I like the fact that she's trying to protect women. They really, both of them are trying to protect women, so that women will get something more out of it than just simply a wet behind. So they're trying to have women look out for themselves, and I get what they're trying to do. I do. At the same time, they are misleading women, telling them to be with a bunch of old men, crippled. The crippled they are, as long as they rich, as long as they got money. The hell with love these days, but as long as they got that money, regardless. Who cares if he's got a colostrophe back? That's what she said in one of her other videos. If he's got one foot in the grave and the other one out, as long as he's got that money. You see, their motive behind what they do is wrong. I understand where they're coming from, but their motive behind it is just totally wrong.
Was this?
And I'm not, wait, let me backtrack. Not totally wrong because they're trying to look out for women. They're just going about it in the wrong way. Let's just put it like that.
Rob. He was about to get X'd out, Rob. But yeah. So there should never. I'm moving my camera so I can look at the computer too, so you guys don't think I'm looking away. But so you guys need to make sure that at all times you're able to capitalize on whatever situation you put yourself in. Okay. Um, because if he's enamored with you, if he adores you, if he thinks you're the best, if he thinks you are, you know, whatever, then you are able to have him, um, you're able to control the strings, you know. Um, so yeah, so I always tell ladies when dating, if you like him, as soon as the lady says, you know, such and such and such and such happened, and I did this and he did that, but you know, I really like him. My first piece of advice is leave him alone. I don't care how good he is. I don't care how much money he's giving you. I don't care how much time you've spent with him. I don't care what the dynamic is. When you find yourself starting to fall, that is when you cut it off immediately. No explanation. No, I can't do this. No, none of that. You don't need any.
Now, I'm that way. Like, if I feel that I'm developing feelings for a person, I do tend to back away. I back up. And that's just a protection for myself. I tend to back up, um, and just totally focus on other things, get involved in going to meetups, get involved in going out with other people. And the reason I do that is because, I've been hurt before. I've been hurt twice in my life, twice, majorly. And that's no fun. I mean, I was hurt so deeply that I was immobilized. When you're so depressed and it takes every all the strength that you can muster up just to get up and shower, just to get up to go to work, just to try to feed yourself. I've been that messed up. So of course you're going to try to protect yourself and not get hurt like that again ever in life. So if I feel that I'm really starting to fall for someone, a fear comes inside of me, a fear. So what I do is I back up. I back up until this person could prove to me that I can exhale. I'm gonna always be with my holding my breath like, and I'm not gonna exhale until they make me feel comfortable or safe. If they can make me feel safe enough to exhale, so be it. But I haven't met anybody yet that I've been out on these dates with, even when it comes to Dale, Steve, and Rick. These are friends. You know what I'm saying? I don't exhale. No, no, I haven't met a man yet, and I've gone out on several dates. Also, I don't exhale with none of them because no, they don't make me feel safe. And I am not an insecure type of female. Far from that. I have a very healthy self esteem. I am very confident when I walk into situations or whenever I'm in a situation. I'm confident. Why? Because I don't give a damn. I don't care that much. That's the secret to being confident and being comfortable around people. Is you can't care too much about. I don't need outside validation. That's what I mean. I don't need your approval. I don't need your stamp of acceptance. I don't. I need Jehovah and Jesus Christ. Jehovah Yahweh, Jesus Christ approval. That's where, that's whose validation I need. Now, if I feel that I'm losing their validation, then I'm in panic mode. Then I'm uncomfortable. If I'm doing something that I know Jesus Christ would not be happy with or Jehovah would frown on, yeah, then I'm feeling not good. I'm not feeling comfortable. I'm feeling terrible. But when it comes to imperfect human beings, I don't give a rat's rear end. I don't need your validation. The only humans that I cared about their validation was my son and my daughter. I want to be I want them to be, I want to be a role model for them, and I want them to emulate me. I don't want them to imitate me. I want them to emulate. That means to rise above me, do better than me. Those are the only two that I really cared about their validation. And of course, when I had my husband, you want your husband's approval. You want to make your husband happy. You want that. But I even had a limit to that. Even a limit to that. Because they're imperfect and they can be quite shallow and very superficial, and I don't care about that too much about their validation, not too much, especially when they're shallow, or if I see that they have a wandering eye. Honey, let me tell you, the first thing a man could do to turn Sheila True Love off, let me catch you with a wandering eye. I'm sitting up here busting my behind for you, cooking, cleaning, doing laundry, sexing you up, rubbing your aching joints, putting up with all the stupid conversation that you're having, and you have the nerve to sit here and be looking and lusting after someone else? Okay, no problem, sweetheart. See, the true love gradually starts to back up. I start to back up, and then I start to turn cold. That turns me cold. And that's when I'm preparing my getaway. I'm preparing to cut the sucker off. He don't even know it. He don't even know it. But I'm backing up and I'm preparing to cut him off. You don't sit up here and disrespect me, lusting after some other female who don't do a goddamn thing for you.
That you just cut it off. Cut it. Because when you start to like him, I'm going to tell you how a woman acts when she likes somebody. She's reaching out to him and saying, "Oh, good morning. How was your? I hope you have a good day. Here's a little something to keep me on your mind all day." That's pointless and redundant. You basically put yourself in the, "Oh well, I know I could probably have sex with her anytime I want to," you know, category when you do stuff like that. Then a woman will start to say, "Well, yeah, it's okay if he comes to my house. I mean, we're building a bond, so it's okay if he comes to my house." And then the next thing you know, you're gonna end up in the bed somewhere, confused and can't figure out how y'all in the bed now.
That's not going to happen to me. I'm not going to sit up there and end up in the bed. And yeah, he will come to my house. If I say that's what I want, he's coming to my house. Yes, he will be coming to my house. Along with, I always have someone here. It's called a chaperone. Like they used to do back in the day. So, and I didn't even have to have a chaperone. He ain't ended up in my bed because, like I said, Tubies, no female should be in bed with no clown before 7 months. They shouldn't even be thinking about no bed action before lucky number 7. So he could come over all he wants if I choose to have him over. It's not ending up in no damn bed. Because when I say no, no means no. He already has an understanding. I do not perform or even think about sex. Let's make this clear straight out the gate. I don't even think about being sexually active with anyone before 7 months. I'm hoping I'm making myself clear. And if he still uh, decides to pursue the relationship, because some men like a challenge, most men like a challenge. He wants a challenge to see if he could get me in bed before 7 months. Go ahead. Bust your ASS trying, baby. Good luck. So, of course, he's going to be charming. He's going to do everything he can to try to beat that 7 months. Yeah, okay, go ahead. I say go for it, baby. Let me see your pimp. Let me see how this pimp daddy can work. Go ahead, pimp daddy. You think you got juice like that? Really? Yeah, okay. You met your match here.
Oh, it's okay if I just cook for him because, I mean, I really want him to know that I can cook.
No, that's not the reason why I'm cooking. I'm cooking because I like to cook. I'm good at it. I like cooking. I like to see men eat because they eat with such enthusiasm and such vigor. And they have this appreciation, man, with this good food. But my number one reason for cooking is because I enjoy doing it. I'm not trying to sit up here and say, oh, it's because he can see that I can cook. If you're trying to get married or whatever, somewhere down the road, maybe, he has to know if the woman could cook or not. But that's not my ulterior motive for the reason why I cook or the reason why I have him over to the house. I have him over to the house because I love entertaining in my home. I love it. Okay? And it's convenient for me, it's easier for me, and that's why I do it. I don't have time to be checking a rule book. Well, don't do this and don't do that one. Yeah, you could do this one and yeah, I don't have time for that, baby. Come on now. I already have my mindset. I first of all, I don't drink with men. I'll have him let him drink. Like I have his beers, I have his Hennessy. Long as he gave me money and stuff for it, his Hennessy will be here. He could drink until he's whatever. If he drinks too much, then he will be doing an Uber. Where I live, I have where you park here. You don't have to look for parking. So if you overdid it with the drinking, you will be taking an Uber to your home, and then you can take an Uber back and pick up your car because you're not going out of here once you had cocktails. You're not leaving my home in that state, that condition. I take the car keys. If I see you drinking like that, hand over the keys, babe. Yeah.
No. Never,
Yes.
ever, 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 ever cook for a man.
That's bull, 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 and again, bull, bull, bullery. Cook for the man if that's what you like doing. Okay.
Don't do that. You don't have to prove your worth to a man. He
It's not about you proving anything. You're doing what you enjoy. Why should I stop enjoying what I love? Why should I stop doing what I enjoy just because I got to play this game? I ain't got time for that nonsense, child. Come on, little girl, grow up.
he should be the one proving his worth to you. If you ever find yourself where you're feeling like, oh, I really want to show him that I like him, or I really want him to feel like this about me, you ever find yourself feeling those feelings, then you should probably stop what you're doing and not continue whatever it is you were doing, whether it's cooking or reaching out first or whatever. Because he's going to feel like, okay, now she's chasing me and I can sit back. We've had several women in the group post about, oh, well, as soon as I let my guard down, now things have changed and he's not talking to me anymore. Or as soon as I started doing this, now his reactions to me are different. And that's because you have put yourself in a masculine role. I was explaining on a consultation today that when you are dating, you don't want to be this to a man. If he's here, you don't want to be his complement because then you put yourself in opposition with that man.
You do want to be his complement because that's why God created a woman as a man's complement. God created a woman as a man's helper to help the goddamn bastards. They need it. God knows they need it. But you are a compliment to him. You're supposed to be.
You're not, men and women are not supposed to be equal.
I don't think that we're supposed to be equal. I think that we're supposed to be different. Like we are. We're different. One person's role is no better than the other person's role. You just have different roles. That's it. One is not better than the other. It has nothing to do with being equal. It has to do with being you're a man and that's you and I'm a female and that's me. It's different, honey. It's not better one better than the other. It really isn't.
Men and women are not supposed to be equal at all. Not at all. They're not. I don't care that women can do the same thing that men can do. That's great. It's good that we have that sort of diversity and we can do one thing and we can do another. But the most important thing is to be like this to a man. You want to compliment him.
But I thought you just said you don't want to compliment him. One minute you say don't compliment him. Now we got to compliment him. Okay, girlfriend, get it right.
You want to compliment him.
Really?
You want to, where he has gaps, you want to be able to compliment him. That's the natural way things are supposed to be. That's why when you're involved with a man and there's an interaction between you that is sexual, it's there's going to be opposition. He's opposite of you. You know what I mean? So you can't. I don't want to be his equal as far as
When it comes to the sex thing, God knew what he was doing, okay? God made it so that it fits perfectly the way the woman's vagina and the man's penis it inserts inside the woman's vagina, making them so connected, and they become one like that. You know, that's why when people cheat, it pissed it kills me damn near. You're becoming one. You're tying your soul to another female. God made it beautiful the way He designed the man and the woman, and the way that we connect so beautifully. It is beautiful when the man inserts inside the woman and the woman is so welcoming and loving to welcome him. You know, that's great. But it's supposed to be with love, okay? Sex is not just something physical, it's spiritual. It's very spiritual. And if you don't believe me, I can prove it. The next time you have an orgasm, tell me that's not spiritual. That's an out of body experience. That's intense. It's beautiful. It's just it's amazing. It's spiritual. That's why you don't do that with just any and everybody. You're supposed to do that with your husband, your partner, whatever. That's it and that's all. You sitting up here sharing something that intense and that sacred and that beautiful with someone else? No, no. That's why I told you when it comes to Sheila True Love, you cheat on me one time, I'm done with you. How dare you share something that beautiful and that intense with someone else? How dare you? No, no, that you can't come back from that. Not with me. You can't come back from that. Forget it.
statistically, as far as what I can do, as far as my knowledge, none of that. I want him to think I'm the lesser. I want him to think I'm easy. Oh, she's so stupid. I know I could get her. You know why? Because when he thinks that, that puts you in the power position. You can do anything at that point. If he thinks I know she at the house. She ain't going nowhere. I can be over here doing what I want to do while she's over here, waiting for me at home. You want him to think that. Because if something happens and you just pop up at the spot, then he's like, oh, you know what I mean? So you're able to play the game better when you're in a position of, you know, when your intentions are obscure. Yes. When you don't let everything out all on the table.
I agree with you. Don't let everything out on the table because I'm a firm believer, like my mom taught me and my aunt. Never let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. He don't need to know everything about you. He don't need to know how smart you are all the time. You know, um, yeah, I think it's important for women to do a lot more listening than it is talking. Communication is definitely vital because without communication, you have no relationship. That ain't no relationship if there's no communication. That's just a freaking joke. It's a joke. Um, when it comes to keeping certain things to yourself, yeah, I think that's important. He don't need to know that you all the things that you know. Yeah, never let the left hand know what the right hand is doing, baby. I'm a firm believer in that part.
I'm gonna get to you, Miss Adriana. You lied about something. I saw that. When you don't lay everything out on the table and you say, okay, you let him talk, you let him do the pursuing, you let him do all of the, asking of the questions and stuff. You don't. Here's another thing that'll probably blow your mind. You don't have to hold up the end of the conversation on a date. You don't have to. You don't have to do the fillers when there's space in the conversation. You don't have to do any of that. Nothing. All you have to do is come to the date, laugh at jokes, ask questions about him, get him talking. Those are things you need to be doing on dates.
That's the beauty of taking table topics with you on dates. You can even get table topics on your phone. Just go on your phone, go on Google, and type in table topics. So you have a portable table topics with you all the time. That way, he gets a chance to ask you a question, you get a chance to ask him a question, and it's a fair exchange. Now, I've been on dates with guys who don't like to do that, and all of those guys that I've been out on dates with who don't like doing that are all guys who use drugs. You have got yourself mixed up with the dusty. I call them dust mites. Brain dead. Those are the only type of dudes that I notice that don't like to play table topics. Because when you're on a date, you don't know this person, they don't know you. It's not like an interview or anything like that because it's fun questions. These are not hard questions. Just go on your Google when you get a chance, Tubies, and type in table topics, fun things to talk about on a date. Just type that in. Everybody takes their cell phone everywhere they go. So you could just suggest that on the date, put the phone in the middle of the table while you're eating and talking, and you find yourself laughing at stuff. An easy conversation is just easy. And anytime a man does not want to play table topics with me, or he's not teaching me something, or he's not funny and keeping me laughing, there won't be a second date. I don't care how much money you spend on me. I don't care. Because if you can't mentally stimulate me or keep me happy mentally, I can't be so bothered, babe. Again, time is something you can't get back. Once you waste your time, that time is gone forever. You've actually aged using up that time, man. I'm sitting up here aging and stuff, and I ain't getting nothing out of this. I ain't getting nothing out of this. You see what I'm saying? Now, you either play table topics or you have some topics. He already got some topics like current events, or like we went to a movie and we were sitting at dinner talking about what we thought about the movie, our favorite parts, and what part we thought was funny, or what part we thought was unbelievable. That part was a little unbelievable. You got things to talk about, loads and loads. Okay? There are so many things in this world to talk about. Like I be telling some of my tubies, the female friends that I be talking to, and all they want to talk about is men, 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 and I need a man, or this about a man. Man, you got so many things. You could talk about art. You could talk about cars, entertainment, finances. What about talk about health? You could talk about life, the news. What about pets? You could talk about relationships from time to time. What about politics? You could talk about music. You could talk about humorous things. What about technology? Like, what is your favorite app on your phone? Tell me about some of the favorite apps that you have on your phone. You could talk about movies. You could talk about philosophy, religion, sports, TV, celebrities, fashion, health, finance. There's society. What about travel? There's a lot of things to talk about. Uh, Simply, other than better yet, there's a lot of things to talk about other than just a man or a woman. I gotta have a woman. I got man. Look at all these topics that I just threw out there for you. You know. So it's about even exchange, a conversation. You don't let him do all the talking because he's going to be like, oh my God, it's like pulling teeth hanging out with this broad, man. She don't hardly have nothing to talk about. She was like brain dead. I had to do all the entertaining of her and it was exhausting. So you have to know how to do your fair share. You don't want to overtalk. I try to answer things in a sentence, maybe one or two sentences like that, so you don't overdo it. But all of these bunch of rules of what she's talking about, man, please.
You need to let him know that you're his intellectual equal. Because when you're his intellectual equal, you're like his homeboy. And since you're his homeboy, why does he have to give you any money? He shouldn't have to give you money because you should be able to do it yourself, right? If you can do everything that he can do, then he's not going to feel the need to help you, which is how you get the money. Easy. Easy peasy. Stop having.
No, no. If it's about money, whatever, here we go again. Like with her and she were seven, whatever. Everything is about the money. Look, when you're dealing with a gentleman or a man who knows his role, he automatically go in knowing his role. Like if some guys say, let's go out to dinner, you make it clear before you even go into any restaurant. Okay, so does that let's make this clear? Are you treating? Is this a treat on you? And he'll say yes, or he'll say, no, I was thinking we could do Dutch, because I'm a little light in my pocket. That's when you can determine whether you want to go out with him or not. But before I go on any date, I make it clear, is this your treat? Oh, okay, that's nice. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. And then you go into the restaurant, you can eat easy. You don't have to worry about when the bill comes, who's going to pay what. No, we've established that before we went into the restaurant. And then you just have your little good time, have your table topics handy in case there's a loss of conversation. Or sometimes it's nice to just sit in silence. Like when you're with someone who you know is really good for you or who's really right for you, you could actually sit in silence with this person and you're comfortable. You ever been with someone like that? I have. I do that with Dale. I do that with Steve. I could sit in quiet. With Rick, I'm usually talking, or he's always talking. He's a Capricorn, and I'm a Capricorn, so we got brain cells going all over the place. So that's always easy for us. But he's sometimes he get quiet too, and it's comfortable with these three. When you feel that you got to keep talking, constantly keep talking, yeah, that's constant work. But when you're out on a date, you want to have fun. You want to have conversation because you can sit in your house alone and be quiet. So when you're out on a date or trying to be social, you want to have a nice flow. I gave you numerous topics to talk about. Push comes to shove. You have your phone with you. Go on Google, table topics, fun topics to talk about. Make sure keep it light. And there you go.
Such a big ego.
Ah, ah,
Stop having such a big ego. Stop feeling like you have to compete with him. Stop feeling like there's a need for you to be always on. You know how you can always be on a date? Have your look together. That's how you can always be on. That's how you can always be his equal. You can be a man's equal and he doesn't even have to know it. How about that? You can be his equal and he.
I agree with the fact that you should always have your looks look nice. Make sure you look where you're confident. Dress in a way that you're confident because confidence is what is the most attractive thing about a person anyway. Make sure you dress in a way that you feel so freaking powerful. You feel so confident. Like me, I feel confident when I'm wearing brown or champagne. I like that. I feel confident and sexy with my undergarments when I know that I have on some cute lingerie underneath my clothes. He don't see it. He ain't gonna see it before 7 months. But I know that I'm wearing it. And I feel sexy. I feel powerful. I feel confident. I feel confident when I have certain perfume you know, that I wear. This perfume that I wear, oh man, it'll weaken any dude. It's called Knowing from Estee Lauder. Oh, it's called Knowing. I know I'm hot like hell. When I'm wearing my Knowing from Estee Lauder, honey, you can't tell Sheila True Love nothing. And it weakens. I haven't met a man yet that doesn't soften him a little bit in his knees. It's nice. At least with my body chemistry, because perfumes smell different with different based on your body chemistry. The way it may smell on me, it may not smell like that on you. Or you may wear something that smells drop dead gorgeous. Oh my God! And then I put it on, and it's not the same. You know what I'm talking about, Tubies. Anyway, yeah. So you make sure that you dress where you feel confident. I don't care. Like me, I'm a practical girl. I feel confident when I'm dressed. I don't feel confident wearing it's big old heels. I feel like an idiot with these silhouette heels. I have silhouettes in my closet because I was married and I believe in wearing the silhouettes around the house with the little outfits. But that's in the house because it's sexy, for the man in the house. But me walking the streets with these silhouettes, I ain't wearing none. No, that ain't happening. I don't feel confident. I might fall on my face any minute. Nah. And I feel like all these big old tall hills, that's a woman who's trying too hard. She's just trying too hard. I like a sensible shoe. I always like a V-neck. I always like a V-neck or something with buttons down the middle so he can imagine easy access. I don't like no. I like cow necks, like the cow, like it hangs down, cow. Anything that could show just very little cleavage. Trust me when I tell you, it's not all that much cleavage. And I don't like nothing on my neck. I ain't feeling, like choke like those like turtlenecks and stuff. Ah, nah. I don't like those other like loop type blouses look like old ladies wear. I ain't wearing that either. I like V-necks or I like blouses that button down in the front. You could get a nice, cute pair of sexy jeans with a nice, sensible shoe. And if it's like for a nice restaurant that he's taking you out to, like, uh, let me see, downtown in Manhattan, they have some really cute restaurants. I always find me the cute. You have to have your perfect black dress. You could always dress it up, put some bracelet and a nice ring to match with your nails done. Make sure your feet are done, your toenails are painted, your feet are done. You feel sexy, you feel confident. So that's the way you're going to project yourself. You walk into a room and it's like, freak it, man, I own this. These are just squirrels trying to get a nut, whatever. You walk in a room like you own it. You own it. These are people who work for me, and it's great, having them here, and I'm here in their presence, and that kind of stuff be going through my head sometimes. I love when I walk into the room because of my skin tone. I know I always get compliments on my skin, right? And I'm brown skin, so I know I age beautifully, and I know that when I see, like, I don't know, different women, whatever, please. I walk into the room, I always feel powerful. I just do. But that's my personality. That may not be yours. But what gives me my confidence is one, I'm on God and Jesus Christ team. That's my number one confidence right there. Number two is I feel that I'm very attractive. I'm smart as hell. I feel like, let me tell you what I feel. I feel like Michelle Obama or Felicia Rashad when she's in the Cosbys. That's who I feel like when I walk into rooms. I feel like one of those two, either Michelle Obama or Felicia Rashad. And the reason why is because I've had people tell me that, you remind me of this person and you remind me. That's why, I guess that's why I took on that mentality. But that's the way I feel. And you see how both of those women carry themselves, right? I'm
That's
sure
even.
you've seen The Cosby Show with Clara Huxtable. You see the way she carries herself? She's classy, man. And she's not trying to act Caucasian. You could tell that they're black. Michelle Obama, she carries herself with regality, like with royalty. She's a queen. You walk into the room, God damn it, you know you are a queen. That's it, and that's all. Don't forget to dress confidently. And then you good, babe. Own the room. You own it.
Have to know it. In most cases, he probably shouldn't know that you are his equal
Oh,
because
whatever.
you'll be able
Oh,
to.
freak her. I'm done with her. I'm sick of her. I think I haven't finished it though. I want to hear what more that she got to feed people. Let me
You
see.
capitalize more
Okay, ma, let's just fast forward you a bit, little girl, because she needs some work.
how much you're making.
What?
Um, how to recognize high earners. That's a whole nother video. Why are women so scared to be savage? I don't know. I don't know. He wants you to commit before he gives you money. Okay, Miss Victoria, so commit. If he wants to feel like you're his girlfriend, then do it. I mean, doesn't necessarily have to be true.
Look, if a man wants to put you on lockdown and he wants you to be his and available for him whenever he wants you to be available, he has to give you a monthly allowance, okay? No, a weekly allowance, at least $100 a week. Now, I'm a firm, again, my tubies, please. If he wants to put you on lockdown where he does not want you dating other people, then he has got to give you a weekly allowance. And you have to make that clear straight out the gate. Like when he calls up and you're not available, and then he finally gets you. He's like, "Where were you? I called and you didn't pick up. Where were you?" I was like, "I went out with a friend. Yeah, him and we had a great time." Oh, it was a he. Yeah, it was a he. Why? What's going on? What is it? You want me on lockdown? If you don't want me seeing other people, sweetheart, just say so. You give me a weekly allowance, $100. I'm on lockdown. But I'm not going to put myself on lockdown and you're not no, that's not happening, sweetheart. That ain't going to happen. So we have to establish that again up front from the beginning. Yeah, and if he doesn't agree to that a weekly allowance, and I always do direct deposit. I don't want you giving it to me in my hand. You could send it to me on the Cash app. But what I used to do when I was dating my husband before I married him, yeah, he wanted to put me on lockdown. He had to give me a weekly allowance, and he made sure he put that in my bank account. I gave him my bank account number. He would go and make sure he put that money in the bank before I would even see him for the week, because we would spend Friday, Saturday, and Sunday together. If you want Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with me, you will be giving me that allowance weekly. And he already knew the deal. So what happened? Friday, I would check my account by lunchtime, by 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. That money was in my account. Because he knew that if that money wasn't in my account, you're not going to be seeing Sheila. I got to sit up here and be on lockdown, prevent myself from meeting other guys who could probably do much more for me. No, I'm not going to do that. That would be foolish. No. And when he gave me the money weekly, I was on lockdown. I was his exclusively. Just his. And he knew. Yeah, and exclusive means you forsake all others as well, buddy. What do you get out of the deal? I was cooking for him. I was entertaining him with my company. I was doing most of the entertaining, so he's benefiting. I was pampering him. I was, just taking care of him. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's what I did. $100 every Friday.